Okay, so learning this helps us to understand how we find the area of a triangle. I want to show you something first. Okay, I'm going to show you something first. I have this rectangle here, and we know that to find the area of a rectangle, we multiply the base times the width, or the length times the width. So for this, I would take 6 times 3, and that would give me an area of 18 centimeters squared. But it's something pretty cool. If you were to take a piece of paper or take a rectangle and you draw a line all the way from one corner, from this top corner, all the way to this bottom corner, took a ruler and draw a perfect line, you would get actually two different right triangles. Look at this. I have one right triangle right here. You see it right here. And then another one that fits snugly right there. Rectangles and squares are just basically two right triangles smashed together. Well, why does that help us? That helps us because we know how we can figure out what the area is. All right. So if I'm looking at this, I'm still going to take my length times my width. And even though I'm going to try to find the area of this triangle right here, even though I know this side is 3, that means that this side is 3 as well. So I'm still going to take 6 times 3, right? 6 times 3, my length times my width, my base times my height. All right, that gets me 18. But that area is for the entire rectangle. This triangle is only half of that. So what do we have to do? We have to divide that number by 2. We have to cut 18 in half to get the triangle. So to get the triangle, 18 divided by 2 equals 9 centimeters squared. So the area of this triangle inside of here is half of the rectangle. So we found the area for the rectangle, divided it by 2, and we got 9. So that is the area of a triangle formula. Okay, so in your Avid binder, I want you to go there and I want you to write this down. Area of a triangle folder or formula. There are two ways that we can think about it. What a lot of people say is that area for a triangle is 1/2 base times the height. All right, so you take the base times the height. Whatever half of that is the triangle formula. Another way to think about it is you take the base times the height, or the length times the width, just like you would for a rectangle. But then when you get that number, because two triangles make up a rectangle, you divide it by 2 to get half of that. All right? Divide it by 2 to get half of that. All right. So let's look at some of your practice problems for today. This is going to look exactly like you will see in formative. So you are going to have to do 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. We are going to do number 8 together. So I see this triangle right here. I see that it has a base, or a length, of 4 and a height of 5. So I'm going to take 4 times 5. That equals 20. But remember, with a triangle, we always have to cut that number in half. The last step in a triangle is to divide by 2, or find half of it. That's what makes triangles a little bit tricky. They have 2 steps. First, I multiplied it together. Now I'm going to take that 20, divide by 2, cut it in half, and I get my final answer of 10 centimeters squared. Okay, 10 centimeters squared. We take the base, we take the height, multiply them together, cut it in half, divide by 2. So what your job is going to be to do the rest of these triangles. Multiply the base times the height, cut it in half. Don't forget your label, centimeters squared, or whatever you are measuring in. All right, so good luck measuring the area of a triangle.